Man, my pockets got knots, I'ma need me a masseuse. Man, they already know my name, I don't need to introduce. I be rhyming like I'm Zeus, bring the thunder like I'm Zeus. We can hang like a noose, then you... Autumn, one of the 4 main seasons which marks the transition from summer to winter. Wait, never mind. Autumn, the 23-year-old underground rapper and producer from Louisiana.
God,
Stop
bro,
calling me 30 in my DM. I'm not 30.
Wait, niggas call you 30 in your
Bro,
DM?
niggas DM me every day. Aren't you 30? I'm not 30, bro.
After first beginning to produce music and make beats when he was only 11 years old, to then starting to gain some major traction with a couple of his tracks in the past few years, Autumn is definitely one of the next rappers about to really break into the mainstream. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at who is Autumn. And yes, I meant to put an exclamation point. That's how he spells his name. And I thought a question mark after just looked weird.
Autumn is here.
So as I mentioned, Autumn is both a rapper and a producer, often self-producing many of his own tracks under his producer name Twinuzis. And as I also already mentioned, he first began making beats at only 11 years old, in an attempt to impress his older brother.
I started producing when I was like 11 years old. My older brother was like fucking up in school, and he had to move in with us. And like he ain't never really fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I never knew why. I just knew he liked music. I knew that's what he loved. So I was like, maybe if I start making music, I'll be cool with him. You know what I'm saying? He'll want to fuck with me.
So then, a few years later, in 2016, after now having made hundreds of beats and significantly improving, Autumn would meet fellow underground rapper, Summers, who was also from the same area. Then, after first connecting through Instagram, Autumn would begin producing for Summers. And then Summers would be the one to not only help influence Autumn to begin rapping himself, but also played a part in how he came up with the name Autumn.
You know Summers, you know what I'm saying? That's my brother. It's my brother and shit. He was rapping before me. And like when he was rapping, I was just producing for him. You feel me? And I just noticed like he was catching up to me so fast and he passed me up. I was like, damn, maybe I should start rapping. He was like, bro, just start rapping. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just be Autumn. Like I ain't even think about it. I was like, shit, Autumn come after Summers. I started rapping after you.
So then, after beginning to rap himself, although he said that he never wanted to even do it,
I didn't even want to do like I never wanted to rap before, bro. Like this was never in my.
This is some shit that just happened.
This was never in my plans. I never liked rapping.
but after deciding to really take music seriously and give it his all, Autumn would quit his job at Walmart and told his mom to give him 3 months to really try to get his music poppin'.
Like October is when I quit. I quit October 1st. Now I told my mom like, yo, you give me till New Year's, bro. Give me till New Year's. If it's not working, if I'm not making money off of it, if I'm not doing good, I'll go to college. I'll get a job again. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just started putting in work because I was not trying to do that.
So then Autumn would first start to gain some traction with his 2018 mixtape, Retribution 3, which also featured one of his biggest breakout songs, Nina. Although he said that he hates that track and made it in only 15 minutes. But like we've seen with so many of these new underground rappers as well, Autumn would get a big boost in popularity after Nina would blow up on TikTok. And another thing that you'll see with all of Autumn's songs, and even his name itself, is that he always puts an exclamation point at the end of all his titles. While he's never said a reasoning as to why, it's just part of his branding, I suppose. But through also linking up with Summers, Autumn would be introduced to plug-and-B type beats, which has not only become part of Autumn's sound today, but has also been really popularized with this new SoundCloud wave in the past few years.
It's plug and it's plug and B, and a lot of people will mix them up. But it's because like plug and B, we use the same type of drums as plug, like
Mexico
like
drum?
we use the Mexico drill drums. You know what I'm saying? But we put that R&B twist on it.
So then Autumn's second big breakout song would come in January of 2020 when he dropped his single, Still the Same. And this track would become his fastest song to hit 500,000 streams on SoundCloud. Then just a few months later, Autumn would get Lil Tecca to hop on the remix for the song. And although this remix is currently the only collab between the two that is officially released, Autumn and Tecca have been friends since back when both rappers had under 10,000 followers, as Tecca had invited Autumn to be part of a rap engagement group on Instagram, and Tekka still makes sure to show him love today, as we've also seen before just how tapped in Lil Tekka is to the underground.
In my playlist right now, Summers, Autumn.
What is it?
Summers, my nigga Autumn.
But besides Lil Tekka and Summers, Autumn is also close to many of these other underground rappers, including SSG Kobe, who is actually from Lafayette, Louisiana too. I already did an entire video like this on him, and then also all of the members, or maybe now former members, of the SoundCloud collective known as Slay World, which consisted of rappers and producers who all primarily use that plug-in B sound, including Summers, Can, and Yeet, who I've also already done a whole video on. But I believe as of now the group no longer exists, as some of the members have since been accused of some pretty serious charges. But also just a few months ago, there was a little beef between Autumn and Yeet, which while I'm not too familiar with what all exactly happened, basically I think that after Autumn would drop his new single, Portrayal, which is probably my favorite song from him yet, then Yeet would claim that Autumn kind of stole his flow and tried to copy his sound.
She got that guap, she really lit. I got a guap, I'm really lit. Kinda that guap, I really lit. Stack up the guap in increments. Money on Squid Game participant.
And while I guess that it sounds similar to Yeet, after hearing it, Yeet would post this on his Instagram story, saying, "Dude really trying to sound like me, bro, go do something else, that shit suck." Which would then lead Autumn to responding, basically saying that he gave Yeet his voice in his biggest song, and to also remember how grateful he was to even be in Autumn's circle, as again Yeet was a member of Slay World, to which Yeet would again respond, "I think somebody mad I passed them." And then that was really it as far as I'm aware. So who knows if Autumn and Yeet are currently on good terms or not. But after Portrayal, Autumn would then drop his most recent single last week, titled One Way, which after he initially previewed the track on Instagram Live back in June, the snippet would again really blow up on TikTok. So then once Autumn finally dropped the song last week, it is already looking like One Way will be Autumn's biggest song yet. And really, I think Autumn is the next one up in terms of blowing up outside of that underground SoundCloud scene, as we've already seen Sofago, Yeet, and SSG Kobe already kind of take that next step up in their careers. And like I already said, I feel like Autumn is just one more hit away from doing that himself. And it looks like One Way might actually be that one to do it. And I'm glad to see it, as not only is Autumn's work ethic crazy good, as he's now put out 12 projects in just 3 years, but it also seems like Autumn's head is in the right place. As he said, he's not into buying all these material things like designer clothes or hella drugs.
Just know that if you get in a position like this, the most satisfying thing is going to be, like, it's not going to be the materialistic. It's going to be, like, just that feeling of achievement.
Right.
It's just that feeling of achievement. Like, you feel like you finally made it.
As for his biggest influence with his music, Autumn has listed Drake. So what's next for Autumn? Well, as I already mentioned, Autumn is definitely not afraid to put out music. And besides all these singles, I believe his next project will be titled Antagonist, and should be on the way very soon. So that'll do it for this video on Autumn. Tune in next time for my video on Winter. If you haven't yet, please do me a favor and drop a like for me. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for new videos every week. I also wanted to mention that I finally started an Instagram page for the channel, so be sure to also check that out as well.
They was like Ray Charles, didn't see my vision. Only need one shot, don't need no provision. Man, I don't need no permission when I'm whipping in the kitchen. When I'm scraping all these bowls, it is like I'm doing dishes. I ain't worried about that girl, could've see got lots of fishes. I ain't really read the terms or agree to those conditions. I ain't really come from rags, but I'm